Hello class, this is your instructor James Saunders coming to you from Sparta, Tennessee. Welcome to Workshop 3. Now this week, as in the past two workshops, there's a lot of material for you to cover, so I'm going to do my best not to take too much of your time with this introductory video. But I do want to talk about just a few things related to the reading and the discussion boards, and of course you have something new this week, which is a two-page group proposal. So first, you're going to be reading out of chapters 5 and chapter 8. Of course, our primary text is Groups, Process, and Practice. And in Chapter 5, I want you to pay careful attention to what it has to say about screening members and group formation. Things like the composition, the size of the group, the frequency of your meetings, duration of meetings, the location and setting of your meetings, and whether it's going to be an open versus a closed group. Chapter 5 is really going to come into play when you work on your two-page paper, your group proposal. You'll notice how the elements from that reading coincide with one of your discussion boards and also that two-page paper. I'll say more about the paper in a minute. Now in Chapter 8, I really want you to pay careful attention to the section talking about the tasks of the working stage, and also page 273, there's a nice little chart that contrasts what a working group versus a non-working group looks like. And then in Chapter 8, beginning on page 279, there's a great section about therapeutic factors at work in a group during the working stage. And the authors, the Coreys, they give special mention to this book, The Theory and Practice of Group Psychotherapy, when they talk about these therapeutic factors. So this is a book that I mentioned at the very outset of our class. It's an excellent resource. It's one of those super thick books, but it's an excellent resource. It's one they used to use for this very course at IWU. So they're going to make mention of it in the textbook. Here it is again, just for your information. I won't say any more about that. And of course, you're going to have an assignment out of the workbook, Groups in Action. This week should be a lot less time-consuming than in previous weeks. There's less sections to have to view, and therefore less questions to have to answer. But again, as in the past 2 weeks, you guys have done a wonderful job of viewing those videos and interacting with those, and I'm really enjoying the discussion boards and your workbook activity thus far. Now, I want to say a few things about the paper coming up, because it's the first time that you've had to write anything extensively in this class where APA formatting is going to be an issue. I'm going to show you some pages here. I'm also going to post this in the forum, the faculty forum, so you can see it as a reference. But I want to talk briefly about the format of the paper. I know this isn't the best way to show it, but I'm just trying to do my best to make this interactive and help you out. Now, APA requires that you have a header at the top of each page. So on your title page, it should look like this. It should literally say Running Head with a colon, and then you should have an abbreviated title in all caps. That abbreviated title should be no more than 50 spaces. And then of course it's going to say page 1 over in the corner. Now for your title, whatever the title of your paper is needs to go first. Then I'd like your name, then our course, and then you can just put Indiana Wesleyan University. Of course, all of this is double spaced. At the bottom of page 1, your title page, you need to include that statement of academic honesty, much like this. So then on page 2, you will drop the phrase running head, but you will continue to have your abbreviated title. It'll say page 2. Then you don't put the word introduction. You will repeat the title of the paper at the very top, and then double space down and immediately begin with an introductory paragraph. You don't have to have a lengthy paragraph because this is a short assignment, but you have to have at least one paragraph introduction to this paper. Then you will address the different topics that the instructions talk about. Each of those will be their own section heading, which is in boldface, and I've given you sort of an example here. And that'll go on to the next page. And you will also include a conclusion with your paper, which has a boldface heading as well. Then you'll come to the last page, your references page. Again, you'll have the abbreviated title in the corner, the page number. You'll have the word references, which is not in boldface. And then you will have however many references you've used for your assignment. You're of course going to need to refer to at least the primary textbook and probably one or two other sources to give your paper substance and to support your assertions. But that's basically the gist of what I'm looking for when it comes to APA formatting. If you need additional help with that, I've included in different posts some of the APA guides, and you can find those through the IWU resources link in Learning Studio. Again, welcome to Workshop 3. I'm so excited for the work that you've each been doing. You're really contributing a lot. Continue being transparent, those of you who have life experiences to share, personal or work related. Continue engaging one another, and you're doing a wonderful job. I really love working with you thus far. I look forward to seeing what you have to offer in the discussion boards. Take note of what I said in my email to you about the grading, that in the discussion boards, I'm fine with you going off topic as long as what you have to share or the questions that you ask, as long as they contribute to the theory and practice of group counseling, they enlarge the conversation and they challenge us in our dialogue together. Do your best to address the initial prompts with each discussion board, but as you're having the dialogue, if you go off topic, that's okay. Just make sure that you are being academic and that you are being always observant of etiquette. Well, I've said much more than I intended to say. I'm just excited about this week. I think it's going to be a great week for you. A lot of material to cover, a chance to begin formulating your idea of what an ideal group would look like for you. If there's anything I can do to help you, don't hesitate to reach out. You can get me through the faculty forum, through email, or you can call me at 931-510-7747. Thanks so much for all your hard work. God bless.